Drennan, she stops up, looks for teammates. Dispossessed by Sheridan. Vicky Davis now has to really run for this. Tori Rodriguez right behind her. And she's going to have to take that out of trouble. And Sheridan all of a sudden have a throw in deep in the Algonquin end.
Great pace from Rodriguez to chase that ball down. You can see that if she has the opportunity, she's going to be quick. We're also seeing Algonquin start to play a little bit more of a physical match. They're realizing that Sheridan is a strong team. They play with a lot of muscle. They always have. If Algonquin's going to win those 50-50 balls, they need to go in committed.
That time it was Selena Bernard, the intended target, just over top of her head. Will be an Algonquin throw. Number 4, Jasmine Short, out of Tottenham, Ontario, taking the throw for Algonquin. Just over the midway part of half number 1, still 0-0 the score between Sheridan and Algonquin, although both teams have had their chances. We saw just recently a Becky Lee shot going to the net, disallowed from the offside flag. Referee says free kick towards Algonquin, and they will have a direct free kick inside their own half. Jasmine Short still taking the throw in for Algonquin. Looking for Sissons, and again it will go off to Sheridan for a third consecutive Algonquin throw on that right side. Looking for the feet of Becky Leeson, make that 4 in a row. They're just slowly pushing their way up the field via the throw-in. Becky Leese with it by that corner flag, trying to make a move on Taylor Bear, does so. A lot of bodies inside that Sheridan penalty area. Referee says goal kick. About 7 or 8 players. It's hard to know who gets that final touch. Referee seemed confident with his decision. It will be a Savannah Wood goal kick.
Once again, we're seeing more of that scrappy muscle football that both teams are putting out there. We're not seeing long stretches of possession on either side. Lots of challenges, lots of turnovers.
Now Sheridan gets their turn with the throw, and it'll be number 13 for the Bruins, Mariana Defina. Sissons with possession around mid-pitch, looking for a white shirt, does find one in Vicky Davis. Vicky Davis is going to go right behind her to her teammate Sophie Stewart. Vicky Davis. Out of play by Algonquin. Sheridan with a throw deep into the Algonquin end. Connie Drennan, her throw intended for Cavero. Daguerre's going to give it back to Drennan, but her pass is going to be blocked by Becaire. Now Algonquin have numbers up front. Becky Leese finds Belay. She's trying to go back to Leese, but she has to run for that. Nevada Feesby is going to go all the way back to Savannah Wood. That pass by Feesby not quite enough and nearly picked off by Leese and given a good opportunity, but Wood does well, hits it off of Becky Leese for an Algonquin throw. Vicky Davis is able to head that to teammate Becaire. Becaire looking for Georgiolopoulos, but it will be another ball given straight to Savannah Wood. Sheridan able to reset. Daguilera, the intended target of that throw-in, but Vicky Davis will shield that and let go for an Algonquin goal kick. We saw a lot of pressure right away and back and forth, but not a whole lot to the last 5 minutes of this one. A lot of throw-ins, a lot of goal kicks.
Was it off? It was. So they made a change this morning to get the first one working.
Belay trying to find her teammate. Lisa will go off of Taylor Baird and out for another Algonquin throw-in. Sophie Thomas, her throw. Looking for Becky Lease, cannot find her foot. She does keep it in well, though. Thomas with it once again.
Both teams really condensed and bunched up. There's a lot of open space, which means that there's a lot of opportunity on the pitch that neither team is taking advantage of. There's not a lot of crosses. They're not using the breadth of the field. Really dissimilar match to what we saw in the Fanshawe game. There's a lot of possession. Teams stringing together 8, 9, a dozen passes. I don't know if I've seen 5 or 6 consecutive passes without a challenge and turnover so far in this match.
Of course, these teams have not met each other. Algonquin in the east, Sheridan in the west. So maybe a bit of a feeling out process for both of these teams. And a tough challenge that time to try and get the ball away from Rodriguez. Successfully done by Algonquin. We see number 17, Melissa Sissons of Algonquin on the pitch. Not quite sure what happened to Sissons, but she needs some medical attention.
Did not see the foul there, Zach, but she seems to be pointing to her upper right shoulder, high chest area. I don't know if it was a shoulder-on-shoulder collision, but I'm frankly not surprised. There's been a lot of contact, a lot of physicality. It's taking a long time on the pitch. Trainer doing her job, making sure that the player's health is prioritized.
There's no player ready to come on for Algonquin, but I imagine that head coach of Algonquin, Basil Phillips, is starting to issue a substitution, as Melissa Sissons certainly is in some pain. The trainer of Algonquin issues that Sissons does need to be substituted. And it looks like it will be a substitution for Algonquin, the first of the game.
And for the Thunder, number 5, Philomene Sulipitsi.
Philomene Sulibitsi coming in for the injured Sissons. And we're back and running. In quarterfinal number 2, the winner of this game will have a semifinal date with Fanshawe, who was able to edge out Niagara in quarterfinal number 1 by a score of 2-0. 2 goals that time by Jade Kovacevic. It will be a Sheridan throw in the Algonquin end. Becaire cannot find an Algonquin teammate. And now Connie Drennan making a move on Belay. Drennan regains possession, finds Baird making that attacking run down the right flank. Baird a creative ball but cannot quite find a teammate. And Mariah Harper has to come off her line and scoop that up. And Algonquin regains possession.
Well, with the work rate of Harper and net, these teams are actually quite evenly matched. Her goals against average is just 0.8 per game, and she's a bit of the difference maker right now. Sheridan putting on a lot of pressure, getting more shots and opportunities, but really failing to convert. With less than 10 minutes to go in the half, it's feeling like a really similar match to the first match that might make its way to halftime, 0-0.
In that first match, it was Fanshawe scoring in the 41st minute after a stalemate for the first 40 between Niagara and Fanshawe. They ended up winning 2-0, as I said before. Algonquin now with a free kick. Vicky Davis taking it from just inside her own half. Looking for Becaire, headed towards goal. That time by Sheridan's number 4, Luba Slupka. Belay just kicked upfield, and Suli Bitsy may get her first touch of the ball. Becky Lease on that right away as well. And a quick shot that time by newly subbed in Philomene Suli Bitsy, but right up to the task was Savannah Wood, as she has been all game long. Drennan finds teammate Daguerre. Looking for Salupka and a through ball. And off to the races is Harper, trying to get in just in time as Sheridan Selena Barnard was right on the doorstep.
Well, there's an ongoing story here at the back for Algonquin. Harper coming up big once again, keeping this game tight.
A Sheridan throw deep in their own end. It will be taken by Mariana Defina of Sheridan. Tori Rodriguez looking for that through ball, but taken down well by Davis. Belay has to race for that one, but right on her is Connie Drennan. Belay will push that out of play. It will be another Sheridan throw. Approaching the later stages of half number 1, 0-0. Still a score between Sheridan and Algonquin. Now a through ball going on to that is Mariah Harper once again having to come off her line as number 6 of Sheridan, Kathy Cavero, was a few steps away from poking one through. It's going to be Mariana Defina taking a throw for Sheridan once again. In the Algonquin end, it will be a goal kick for the Thunder after a couple of bodies colliding. Harper taking it once again. Salupka looking for Rodriguez, but taken down well by Belay. Belay finds Davis at the back line. Looking for Becaire, but instead finds Suli Bitsy. Nevada Feesby is going to go back to Savannah Wood, the 2018 Central Division All-Star. Vicky Davis heads it back to herself. She's trying to find a teammate. She does find Becaire, but right there is Taylor Baird. It will be a free kick in favor of Algonquin. Foul committed by Baird of Sheridan. Vicky Davis taking the free kick. Just a couple feet inside the Sheridan zone. That ball whipped in, but cleared away by the back line of the Bruins. Jasmine Shore cannot keep that one in. It'll be a Sheridan throw, and we will see Sheridan's first substitution. Coming into the game for the first time, Megan Foster, who will be replacing Connie Drennan of Sheridan.
Interesting change from Coach Angelini. That's a midfielder for a striker. He's obviously getting the sense that his team is on the doorstep of getting that next goal. Lots of pressure from Sheridan. Foster coming in is a natural striker. She's playing on the wing, but Sheridan has had more opportunities in this first half with just a few minutes to go. If we see something similar to the first match, getting that first goal a few minutes before halftime really can build the team's momentum or take it the wind out of their sails.
And Algonquin, the team with pressure, but Sheridan's able to get that off the back line. That pass intended for Sylvie Thomas, but here is Megan Foster. She has room in front of her, intending to go to Tori Rodriguez. And Rodriguez was offside. Sheridan doesn't quite agree with the offside decision. Nonetheless, it will be a indirect free kick after the offside call. Belay gets by Foster on that left side. Looking to cross it, gets inside that zone, but it will be a Algonquin corner.
Good opportunity here in the closing minutes of the first half for Algonquin.
The Algonquin corner in the back corner of that Sheridan zone will fly all the way back and go for a Sheridan throw-in. Yolopoulos is trying to find Belay, but it will be intercepted by Sheridan, who now have possession heading into the Algonquin half. Sully Bitsy finds Becaire. There's room for her. She has room on that right side, but a great defensive effort by Nevada Feesby, and we'll just play that to her teammate on that right side. Sliding tackle, that time by Algonquin, and a good one. And cleared out of their own end by Sheridan. Savannah Wood picks that up, and she's ready to reset. Put Sheridan on the attack after a bit of pressure by the Thunder. Thomas will feed that right back. Lease was in an offside position, couldn't chase after that. Belay will, but go right in the hands of Wood. Lavery looking for a teammate, but it goes right to the feet of Selena Bernard. Heavy challenge that time by Lavery. No call by the referee, and Rodriguez may be away, but big defensive play by Vicky Davis. We'll just kick that out of trouble. Near the end of half number one, still 0-0. Sheridan on the attack, looking to head into the dressing room with a lead.
Well, Sheridan leading on shots, 10-4 for the first half, is pretty true to the football I've seen. Harper, the goalkeeper for Algonquin, has had a lot of work to do. Meanwhile, Wood on the other end really has had one or two shots, and even those haven't been that challenging for her.
Knocked out of play that time by Mariana Defina. Algonquin now with possession. We've seen a lot of those plays, just taking it out of trouble, giving the other team the throw-in. Not a whole lot of possession. Like you said before, Michael, not really a whole lot of passes strung well together between two teammates. And another change in possession. Elopoulos has space in front of her. Savannah Wood finds Becaire. A different colored jersey, but nonetheless, Algonquin have possession. It's on the foot of Becky Lease.
Referee is looking at his whistle as Algonquin
And
gets this
Sully
last.
Bitsy has a wide open header, just cannot direct that one towards goal, as the referee will put an end to half number one with the score being 0-0. A couple of chances. We've said that Mariah Harper has been busy. A couple diving stops by Harper and a disallowed goal by Becky Lease is all the action we have to report on half number one between Sheridan and Algonquin in quarterfinal number two, half number two. We'll be back with you in about 15 minutes.
into the game for the Bruins, number 9, Tabitha Teixeira.
Number 4, Sue Lipka. Sue Lipka. And 11 is Drennan. 15 is Baird. 9 in and who's out?
12.
9 is Laura.
No, Tabitha Teixeira. They changed numbers. She is listed on this as no number, and she's taken Laura Azoria's spot. So Tabitha Teixeira is her name.
So number 9 is Teixeira?
Yeah. That's what he told me. Ready to go? Welcome back to half number 2 of quarterfinal number 2 between Sheridan Bruins and the Algonquin Thunder. 0-0 the score. Not a whole lot to report in half number 1. A couple chances for either side, but a lot of just scrappy play between these two teams. They both play that way. Sheridan a tough team to play against, and Algonquin doing a good job so far of keeping the ball out of their net as it is 0-0, as one will fly right by Mariah Harper's net, who was fairly active in half number 1. A couple times she had to make a couple diving stops, and she had to lunge in front of her net and get those through balls away from her. So she was active, as was Savannah Wood on the side of the dark blue. The Sheridan goalkeeper was active as well, had a couple of stops. One goal did go in the net, but it was disallowed by the arm of the linesman for offside by Becky Leese. And we are off and running for half number 2. The first whistle is a free kick given towards Algonquin, taken quickly by Becky Davis. And to Becky Leese now. She's being guarded by Nevada Feesby. Feesby will just kick that up, and Davis right there once again. It's going to be a Sheridan free kick this time, as it was number 8, Kendra Shallis, getting tangled up with an Algonquin player.
Yeah, the first half really scrappy. Both teams with a lot of short spells of possession, not able to maintain control of the ball for long periods of time. A lot of intensity, a lot of physicality, a lot more than we saw in the first game. I think we're going to see 90 minutes of this style of soccer. Sheridan, on the stats, doing a little bit better in the first half. A few more shots on net, and looking to increase. Bringing on a new striker late in the first half. I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot more.
It'll be an Algonquin throw deep in the Sheridan end. Quick stoppage. It looked like the shoelace of Mariah Harper wasn't tied. Ready to resume play. Algonquin's throw intended for Suli Bitsy. It's going to be a goal kick in Sheridan's favor.
The winner of this match, of course, moving on to face Fanshawe, number 1 ranked in the province and in the country. But first we need a goal. If we go 90 minutes with a goalless draw, we will see extra time before penalties.
Yeah, Algonquin did need extra time to beat St. Clair in their crossover game. Sheridan got off a little bit easier. They beat George Brown by a score of 3-0. Another throw taken by Jasmine Short, intended for Suli Bitsy. Looking for Becaire, and that will be once again punched aside by Sheridan for another Thunder throw.
One day you'll be
It will be a Sheridan throw. That was number 12 of Algonquin, the captain, Georgia Elopoulos, just cannot maintain possession, being swarmed by a couple of Bruins. Shore taking it once again. Philomene Sulibitsi finds Iliopoulos looking far side. And it's going to hop out to Haley Martin, who's going to get a shot on net, and Becky Lease cannot put that one past Savannah Wood, and she will kick that well out of play.
Great positioning by Savannah Wood there. She came out, challenged the ball. She saw there was obviously an opportunity on net. One of the best chances Algonquin's had thus far in the game. Savannah Wood doing really well to make sure that didn't turn into a game changer.
Savannah Wood, the 2018 Central Division All-Star for Sheridan. We'll see if she can get another All-Star nod tomorrow at the awards banquet. Becky Lease trying to make a move on Defina. Unable to do so. Defina will just poke that out of play. Becky Lease against Defina once again. Becky Lease gets the better of her. It will be Sulibitsi trying to make a couple of moves at the top of the box. Cannot keep possession. Sheridan is able to clear the zone.
Algonquin with just a little bit more momentum in the opening minutes of the second half, something we didn't see much from them in the first half. They might be settling down. They might be realizing that Sheridan brings a bit more of a scrappy physical game and just getting a bit more accustomed to it.
Sheridan back into these championships after a brief 3-year hiatus. Algonquin a regular at these championships, their 31st appearance out of 36 years that the OCAA has hosted these tournaments. Megan Foster taking the throw, never mind, gives it to her defender Taylor Baird. Will look for Teixeira, cannot find that ball. It will be a Sheridan free kick, a foul that the referee deemed unsafe. Nevada Feesby taking the free kick for the Bruins. Feesby whips that one in the box, and right there to take care of that was the Thunder. Teixeira looking for her teammate Foster. Sulibitsi chasing after that, cannot quite keep it in. Defina finds Teixeira, back to Defina. Defina decides to whip that one towards the middle of the pitch. Still with possession, now with Foster. And a yellow card shown directly to Vicky Davis. And a free kick in a very promising position for Sheridan. This free kick about 2 yards outside the 18. Dangerous position to commit the foul by Vicky Davis. Kathy Cavero lining up, the lone player behind the ball for Sheridan. You have to think that this is a position where she will look to put one on Harper's goal, and she does, and it's right into the hands of Mariah Harper. A promising free kick and easily saved by Harper. The drop kick, not one that she would be pleased with. Another challenge that time by Sheridan. Defina taking the throw for Sheridan. Now with Becaire. Dispossessed by Teixeira will be another free kick. Again, the referee is reaching towards his pocket. Another booking may be coming towards Algonquin. This one going towards the captain, Georgia Iliopoulos. So after a scrappy but clean first half, we've already seen 2 yellow cards shown towards the Thunder players.
Both teams still bringing that physicality. A couple cards in just a few minutes. The referee will need to watch these teams as a couple cards piling up in the tournament could be game changers later on.
Nevada Feesby looks to whip that one towards the box. A good cross that does not quite find a play, but it will find the post. A shot by Kathy Cavero off of a deflection of a couple of bodies, and it's going to hit the post. Still in trouble is Algonquin. Taylor Baird trying to find her teammate Foster. Defina finds Savannah Wood and almost given right to Sully Bitsy while Wood was about 35 yards outside of her goal. Feesby's going to go to Wood once again, and Wood obviously an active keeper and good with her feet, almost gifted Algonquin with possession. Sheridan so close to taking that 1-0 lead. A shot from about 12 yards out by Kathy Cavero strikes the right side of the goal. We're still knotted 0-0, looking for our first goal. Sophie Thomas taking the throw for Algonquin. Cannot find a white shirt. Salupka finding Cavero, but well played by Vicky Davis. Baird finds Cavero. And Cavero finds nobody. It will be a Sophie Thomas throw-in. It's now on the foot of Chalice. Going to go to Nevada Feesby. Feesby being chased by Iliopoulos. Baird finds Foster. Foster with room on that right side. Looking for Rodriguez, and Vicky Davis, already booked, is going to commit another foul.
Sheridan definitely building some nice momentum here. The first 5 minutes of the match, Algonquin had the ball in the Sheridan half almost the entire time. Sheridan has picked the pace up. They're getting the opportunities, but both teams with better opportunities just in the first 15 minutes of this half than either really had in the first 45.
That free kick whipped in and just a little bit too high for the tall defender Taylor Baird to get a head on that. Will go out for a Algonquin goal kick. Sheridan, like you said, starting to build some momentum, build some pressure. Algonquin has not had a solid amount of possession in the last few minutes. Mariah Harper now taking the goal kick for the Thunder. Right to Defina, now with Salupka. Back to Defina, being watched by Becaire. Salupka with it once again. Nice move. Now with Carrero. finds Foster. Foster whips that in, and it's going to find the back of the net. Foster is able to chip Mariah Harper and give Sheridan the 1-0 lead.
Well, that's fantastic. That was the first time that I've seen Sheridan string together 8 clean passes all the way from the left side, crossing the ball with a really nice finish. We haven't seen a team maintain that much possession throughout the entire match thus far.
And we were saying that Sheridan was really starting to build some momentum, and momentum led to the goal. 1-0 Sheridan, they lead Algonquin.
Well, it's really time for Algonquin to respond. They're a nationally ranked team. They've only have one loss of the year against Seneca. This is where we really get to see what this team is made of. Are they going to respond? Are they going to bring that pressure back?
Foul committed by Becaire, and Sheridan has a free kick just inside the Algonquin half. Nevada Feesby looking for Cavero, and it will go out for a goal kick. Becaire giving chase to that one. It will go just out of play. That kick by Harper straight out of bounds. And a Sheridan throw to ensue. Cavero flicks that one, looking for Foster. Foster's trying to send Tori Rodriguez. And it will be another goal kick on the ground, Vicky Davis. Becaire takes that one down. Looking for Becky Lease. Right there was Defina. Now Suli Bitsy the intended target, but another defensive play by Sheridan. Chalice Teixeira teaming up, and now Cavero is the intended target, but going to go well behind her. And again, Mariah Harper scoops that up. Megan Foster is not able to get the touch she wanted. Will go out of play for an Algonquin throw, and or never mind, it looks like it did touch Suli Bitsy at the end of that play, given to Sheridan. Rodriguez does a good job of keeping it in, and Vicky Davis forced to put it out of play.
Both teams are starting to spread the field a little bit more, and it's really playing to the pace of the game. It's a lot more end-to-end. A lot more tacking, less of that scrappy football that we saw in the first half. As the teams spread out, we're seeing a lot more free-flowing football from end to end.
Algonquin giving up a goal a few minutes ago. Really need to get something going. Have not really tested Savannah Wood besides that one chance by Becky Lease in the early goings of half number 2. Now Becaire just cannot get that one as Nevada Feesby stretches out and punches that one out of her own end. And now it's going to be Tori Rodriguez away, but it will be just out of her reach, and Mariah Harper scoops that up and quickly gives it to Sophie Thomas. Barnard. Nice move that time by number 13, Haley Martin, but nothing doing. Sheridan does take possession, but Martin gets it back once again. Vicky Davis with time. She's looking upfield, cannot find her teammate Suli Bitsy. Becaire, the intended target of that one, will be an Algonquin free kick. Advantage played, no advantage. Straight to the head of Luba Stupka. But Algonquin gets possession. Cavero right on that, but Vicky Davis able to punch that one away. Now, with lots of room, Tori Rodriguez. Rodriguez looking for Chalice. Cavero at the box. Now will be Teixeira with time. Gets pushed down. Megan Foster looking for goal number 2, but that will go right over top of the bar.
So many Sheridan players queuing up to that ball, hoping for it to fall a little quicker or to bounce a little less, just to find that last finishing touch.
Cavero had a look. Teixeira had a look, and it was Foster who just put it over top of the bar, and pressure off of Mariah Harper. Becker flicks that on, looking for Suli Bitsy. Becky Lease again looking for Bitsy, but good pressure by Sheridan. A free kick in favor of Sheridan. And it's now Cavero in front of the goal and just cannot get that touch. It's going to be a corner kick. And Sheridan will be given an opportunity once again. Kathy Cavero taking the corner kick for the Bruins. The out-swinging corner over the head of Salupka. Suli Bitsy is going to have to go back and find her back line. Now Becky Lease giving chase to that ball, but it will be won by Definas. Savannah Wood, but right there is going to be Georgia Iliopoulos. Cannot get a touch right to her feet. But the bad touch by Chalice, and Iliopoulos is away, but right to the hands of Savannah Wood through her legs. And it will stay out of the goal. Sheridan players and fans taking a deep breath as Savannah Wood did not handle that as she would have liked. But nonetheless, still a 1-0 scoreline.
A bit disorganized there on the Sheridan back end. Coach Paul Angelini up on his feet, getting really vocal with his team, trying to get them focused again back into the game.
Kathy Cavero now with it for Sheridan, trying to send a teammate. It will be out of play for an Algonquin throw. Just about halfway done, half number 2. Sheridan up 1-0. Trying to send Rodriguez, but that pass is picked off by Vicky Davis. And a free kick for Sheridan in a promising position.
Zach, I don't know if we have stats on counting the free kicks this game, but I believe it's already twice as many as we saw in the first game. A lot of fouls out there. Nothing dirty, but just a tough slugfest.
We still see the Sheridan player on the ground, grimacing in a bit of pain. The trainer not yet summoned toward the field. Look like she will continue. Kathy Cavero is the player in blue lining up for this shot. Looks like it was number 2, Selena Barnard, who was in some discomfort. Still looks like she's not 100%. Kathy looking for goal. And she will hit it well high of Harper's goal, and it will be another goal kick for the Thunder. Davis will just kick that one long. Suli Bitsy, the intended target. She does get some possession out of that, but it will be out of play. Vicky Davis, the last white shirt to hit that one.
It's got to be about the time that Algonquin coach Basil Davis is starting to think about who is sitting on the bench, who's ready to go, what changes can he make. We're halfway through the second half. This is a do or die. Winner goes on game. Winner goes on to see Fanshawe on Friday. They don't want this to be the end of the season, and they need to change something up. They're not getting the opportunities. Shots are now 17-7 for Sheridan, and in the second half, it's already 5-2 for Sheridan. So in shots. So Algonquin needs to find something to spark something different and to bring the ball back into the Sheridan end.
Sheridan now with the throw after a missed pass by Sully Bitsy. Taylor Baird will take the throw. Iliopoulos with possession will give the right to Sheridan, but Sheridan gives it right back. Kathy Guevara wins possession for the Bruins, now trying to send Tori Rodriguez. Referee says both get up, nothing doing there. Rodriguez still in some pain on the ground for Sheridan. Nevada Feesby will kick that up and given right back by number 13, Haley Martin of Algonquin. Chalice all the way back to Savannah Wood, allows Sheridan to reset. Becky Lease giving chase. Offside is the call by the assistant linesman. Tuju Becaire in an offside position, giving an indirect free kick to the Bruins.
For Zach, this is game 2 of a quadruple header today. Coming up at 3 o'clock after this match, we'll see hosts of the tournament, Redeemer University College, take on Seneca, undefeated in the East.
Not only undefeated, no ties as well. 10-0-0 is Seneca. And Seneca is the only team to give a loss to the Algonquin Thunder, who at this point are going to get loss number 2, but Becky Lee's doing what she can to stop that. It will be an attempt from an awkward angle. She goes for goal. Savannah Wood will watch that sail past her goal for a goal kick.
And I imagine Savannah Wood's not in too big of a hurry to get that ball reset.
The slow jog for Savannah Wood back to her goal line. Woods goal kick over the head of the Sheridan midfielders and going right to Algonquin. It's now with Becaire trying to get a touch. Becky Lease gets in the end of it, but her shot's going to be blocked. And now Tori Rodriguez is sent away, but it will be Lavery who's able to give the ball right back to Harper. Iliopoulos, the intended target, but intercepted by Sheridan in an Algonquin throw. Lease. Left to go behind her to Iliopoulos. Lavery has to kick that well out of play as Texera was gaining on her. Algonquin now with possession, gives it right back to Sheridan. Now with it is Osorio. Sully Bitsy trying to get by a couple of Bruin players. Instead gives it to Haley Martin. Martin looking for Lease, but a great defensive play by Defina. Barnard looking for Tori Rodriguez. And it will be another Algonquin throw-in. Defina gets that away from Becky Lease. Suli Bitsy has it around mid-pitch, looking for her teammate. Savannah Wood picks that one up as Becky Lease was gaining on her. Wood looking for Chalice, doesn't find her. And it's with Azoria. Taylor Baird will hit that out of play. And it's now with Francesca Belay. Chalice will just hit that out of play. And once again, another throw-in for Algonquin. Vicky Davis taking this one. And Sheridan, I'm sure, has no problem just hitting it out of play. Up 1-0 on this strong Algonquin team. Harper coming way out of her net has to kick that one deep, looking for Becky Lease. Instead, Nevada Feasby takes that one, and Texera with some time, but quickly getting on her is Haley Martin. Texera in a lot of pain as the trainer is coming on. She is holding her left ankle. This does not look good. Not too sure what happened on that play, but clearly in a lot of discomfort. Colliding with one of the Algonquin players, it looks like was.
Yeah, both players going in really hard for a 50-50 ball there. It was a bit of cleat to cleat, a bit of cleat to ankle. And Texera definitely is worse for the wear. Rolling around, clutching her ankle. She's clearly feeling it. It doesn't look ideal.
I can't imagine Texera staying on after this play.
Both teams taking a little opportunity to regroup. Coach Paul Angelini just getting a quick explanation from the referee in terms of whether or not the play was a foul. Referee was really close to the play, but it looked like a 50-50 ball. Texera obviously coming out. D. Aguilar rejoining the match.
Third trainer heading out towards Texera. Still has not gotten off of the ground.
Yeah, Zach, you hate to see this. It's obviously looking like it isn't a minor injury. Three trainers attending it. Looks like they're going to apply the dressing to stabilize the injury and get her off the field. when play resumes, we should have roughly 13, 14 minutes of total soccer left, plus the time added on. Assistant coach is coming out now. Obviously, Texera is not going to be able to get off the field with her own power.
This likely would spell the end of her tournament. We hope for a speedy recovery for Tabitha Texera. Whatever this injury may be. Once again, it looks like she was clutching her left ankle.
Coach Basil Phillips has his full team just on the edge of the sideline, giving him some instructions for the closing 13, 14 minutes of the match. Hoping that he can spark something and use this little break to get them reunited and feed some of those balls forward. Becky Lacey's had a few looks. She's just one stride or two away from bringing Algonquin level.
This match, of course, far from over. Still a lot of soccer left to play. And Becky Lacey, of course, will be the intended target for a lot of these Algonquin through balls. We expect Algonquin to maybe shift formation, maybe add another striker to the mix to get something going and get something on Savannah Wood as we see Tabitha Texera come off. But again, no weight on that ankle. She's getting carried off by her coaching staff. And that left ankle is already taped up in a boot. And obviously in severe discomfort is Texera, and will likely be brought straight back to the medical room for further attention.
Never the way you want to see a player leave the pitch. You can see in her expression she's still in quite a bit of pain.
Subbing in for the Bruins, number 12, Jessica D'Aguilar.
D'Aguilar will come back onto the pitch as we will resume. Referee has the ball in his hand, and it seems like we're just about ready to go after the injury of Texera. Once again, hopefully a speedy recovery for her and she is able to play sooner rather than later. Drop ball, Belay wins it, and we'll give it back to her teammate. That's Sophie Thomas, but given right to the Sheridan player. Slupka getting by a couple of players of Algonquin. Iliopolis looking for Becaire, or excuse me, Suli Bitsy. Now Becky Lease with possession. Bring it towards that end line. Working on Defina. Lease finds Iliopolis. She's trying to push it past the defense of Selena Barnard, and she'll just push that towards the corner, and it will be a throw-in for Algonquin.
Interesting to see Algonquin sticking with its 4-4-2, but starting to bring those outside defenders into the attack. Currently sitting with three at the back, with the right back eager to get in. Now going, as soon as there's a scoring opportunity, they're happy to take risks. They know that time is ticking.
It is a corner kick now for Algonquin. Georgia Iliopolis with the outswing, looking for Becaire, and now Sheridan have numbers. Tori Rodriguez, and looking for the goal scorer, number 7, Laura Azoria. Taylor Bear not in any rush to get this throw-in off and running. In the final 10 minutes of the 90, of course, there will be plenty of added time due to the injury.
Looks like the Algonquin bench is starting to warm up.
D'Aguilar getting swarmed by a couple of Thunder players, is able to get it out. And another throw for Sheridan, now a little bit deeper into that Algonquin end. Salupka going in towards the box, and a great chance, but a great save that time by Mariah Harper, pushing that aside. Another corner kick for Sheridan.
This is really what Sheridan wants to do. They know they're in the last 10 minutes of the match, even with the injury time added on. Keep the ball in the Algonquin end as much as possible. Scoring or not, their win is protected.
And with Harper out of her goal, Sheridan cannot put that one on target. But it's going to go right back to Cavera. Now with it is Azoria, and she will draw the foul.
Really dangerous scramble there in front of Harper. No team really in complete control of the ball.
And in practically a corner kick position is this free kick. Cavera taking it once again. Cavera, the outswinging ball. And it's going to be headed on towards goal, but Algonquin is able to regain possession. Now with it once again is Sheridan. Rodriguez trying to make a move on Lavery. There will be another Sheridan throw, still in the Algonquin end. And if you're Sheridan, every time you have the ball, that means Algonquin doesn't, and that's what matters at this point. They do have that 1-0 lead. Of course, looking to build on that. 1-0 is far from comfortable. Nevada Feesby will have possession. She's looking for teammate Azoria. But instead, Becerra looking for Lise, just a little bit behind her, and easily taken down was Taylor Baird.
Algonquin just struggling to gain enough possession of the ball to shift the momentum away from Sheridan's favor. Sheridan keeps the ball in their end. They keep the pressure on, and Algonquin just needs that little spark, that little change in formation, that little change in tactics to gain possession of that ball and try to get an equalizer late in this match.
It's a corner for Sheridan, and the Algonquin players at half ready to come on, have to wait a little bit longer. Kathy Cavera setting up for this corner kick once again. The last one was a promising one, just could not get a shot on net. Mariah Harper takes care of that, reaches out and grabs that, and she will have possession inside the penalty area. Becky Leaf's the intended target of that kick. She's trying to send on Suli Bitsy, cannot get that one before Nevada Feesby is able to clear the zone. Now with Belay, gets by Asoria. Belay looking that time for Suli Bitsy. She has possession. Looking for Becerra in the top of the penalty area, unable to get to her. Cavera is able to give Sheridan a throw-in, and still Algonquin not able to make a substitution.
That's the type of pressure Algonquin needs. Bring the ball forward. They just need to do a little bit better of keeping possession of it. Protect the ball, move it around. Maybe don't look at the net as your first instinct only. Use the breadth of the field and maximize the opportunity of the possession that you have.
Becky Lease finds Becerra. Becerra cannot find a teammate. Now with Suli Bitsy. Becky Lease just out of the reach of Belay, but she does have time on that left side. Looking for a cross, and not one of her best, as it will go out of play, and Savannah Wood will take that for a goal kick. Couple substitutions now for Algonquin. Coming on is Sarah Ouellette, the forward out of Ottawa. 3 goals so far for the Thunder. Taking off Suli Bitsy, also coming off Francesca Belay. And replacing her will be number 19, Beth Westkoff.
And number 19, Beth Weiskopf. 7 minutes injury time will be added.
Referee just indicating due to the injury earlier, there'll be 7 minutes of extra time added on.
This game is far from over. Savannah Wood now with the goal kick. And Becky Lees now has possession. She has a couple of Thunder players making their way into the box now with Becaire. Becaire trying to find Iliopoulos. Iliopoulos shoots, and it's just going to whistle wide of the frame of the goal. And Susanna Wood takes her time to get that one. Sheridan now with the goal kick. A substitution for Sheridan coming off is Jessica Daguilar, coming on Connie Drennan.
And for the Bruins, number 11, Connie Drennan.
Sheridan now moving to a 4-4-2 instead of their 3-4-3 that they started with. Taylor Baird and Nevada are playing that center back, with Connie Drennan playing right back. Becaire finds Iliopoulos. Iliopoulos with room. Still has room. She likes to shoot, but blocked that time by Baird. It will be a foul committed that time by Tori Rodriguez.
Tough challenge by Rodriguez there, indicative of most of the match that we've seen. I'm also really enjoying seeing Algonquin pick up the pace in the final minutes, really to draw out the excitement of what potentially could happen. Sheridan obviously looking to lock it down, four at the back now, secure the win, milk out the last few minutes. Algonquin, pleased to see them making a match of it and taking it to Sheridan.
Nice move that time by Lavery, creates some space, but Nevada Feesby is able to clear the zone. Lavery gets ahead on that once again, but it will go out of play. And a Sheridan throw. Another Sheridan throw-in.
Should expect roughly another 5 or so minutes to play. Algonquin looks like they're about to make a final sub to make a final push here.
It looks like it will be the recently subbed out Melissa Sissons, the 5th year. And she'll be replacing a defender, forward replacing a defender, and something that we really expected in these final minutes. Now, it looks like it will be a 3-4-3 for Algonquin and a 4-4-2 for Sheridan, swapping formations. Vicky Davis does not get enough on that, and it will still be deep in the Algonquin end. Haley Martin, or excuse me, number 19, Beth Westkoff with the handball, and Sheridan now given a free kick in a promising spot.
Sheridan being really deliberate to pull their players back.
Kathy Cavero hits the free kick and right into the hands once again of Mariah Harper. And unsurprisingly, he's trying to get the ball out of her hands as quickly as possible. Megan Chalice will take that, or Kendra Chalice, excuse me. Sissons. And out of play for an Algonquin throw. Sissons trying to find Elise. Lavery will get ahead on that, and now it's with Bakar. Bakar and Rodriguez battling for that one.
Both teams really feeling the urgency now. Game getting a little bit chippy, ball going back and forth. Challenges are getting a little bit tougher. They know that clock is starting to wind down.
Susanna Wood going to have to kick it out. Heliopolis can't get a 50-50 win, but Algonquin does regain possession now on the feet of Ashley Lavery. Lavery will hit it off of Cavero for another Algonquin throw. Sissons finds Becky Lease. Lease trying to make a move on number 13, Devfina. Lavery. Westhoff back to Lavery. Lavery has to go all the way back to her keeper. Harper does not get all of that. Now it's Tori Rodriguez with an opportunity. Vicky Davis now steals that from her. And looking for numbers. Davis finds Sissons. Cannot get it past Kendra Chalice. And now with it is Kathy Cavero. Getting past Lavery and Sissons. Kathy Cavero with space. But coming in to defend is Westhoff. Harper has to kick it deep from her own end once again. And now Becaire.
This is great to see, Zach. Both teams really pushing hard in the closing minutes, opening up the match a lot, taking the risks. It's end-to-end soccer.
Now with it is Barnard. Barnard finds Chalice, but he's going to go right to Ashley Lavery. Lavery finds Sissons in the middle. She doesn't have enough time to turn. Does make it work, though. And it's going to be a free kick going Algonquin's way.
This has got to be nearing the final minute to 2 minutes left in the match.
We see Mariah Harper all the way at half, just in case there's an opportunity, but nothing to lose right now if you're an Algonquin Thunder player. Vicky Davis, her ball is going to go towards the goal of Sheridan, but Savannah Wood will take all the time she needs.
Great opportunity there. Algonquin throwing everything into the opportunity. But
Savannah Wood
at the back. She's been quite solid all game.
Ashley Lavery with possession. This has to be the last stretch of the game. Lavery finds Sissons. Quite possibly Algonquin's last push. And it's going to go right to the feet of Nevada Feesby. And that is going to be how we end this one. Sheridan is going to be playing Fanshawe in the semifinal, knocking off number 10 nationally ranked Algonquin in this one. 1-0 the final. The lone goal, the lone difference maker, was the chip of number 7 Laura Azoria for Sheridan, as Algonquin has been eliminated from the OCAA championships. A 1-0 final result.
Algonquin will go away feeling that is a little bit of an upset on the stats sheet, but Sheridan really had them both halves out shooting them on net, a little bit more organized and just a little bit better chances. Paul Angelini before the match said, at the beginning of the season, if someone had told them that he'd be in the final 8, he'd be thrilled and he would have taken it. Well, guess what, Paul? You're in the final 4. So look forward to seeing Fanshawe square up against Sheridan on Friday.
Certainly going to be an entertaining match between those two teams. We have 2 great matchups coming up. Next up, we have the Redeemer Royals, the host nation, against the Seneca Sting. After that, Humber versus Durham. But first, the game MVP from both teams.
That's a match I am looking forward to, Zach. The home team hosts choosing the time of their match, 3 o'clock. They know that all the students will be up and out of bed by then, and I imagine the grandstand will be full. Well, I wouldn't be too shocked to see Algonquin keeper Harper being in the short list at least for the player of the game on the Algonquin side. And you've got to expect the goal scorer on the Sheridan side.
Attention to the score table as we announce the players of the game from today's match. From the Sheridan Bruins, number 7, Laura Azoria.
Sheridan player of the game is Michael, as you called it, Lauren Azoria.
senior, number 13, Haley Martin.
Martin obviously also putting in a shift in today. Covered a lot of the pitch. A lot of sad faces over on the Algonquin side. I think they would have expected to do a little better and to make it a little further in the tournament, especially not last year, but the 3 years prior, having won the tournament.
Only a couple of first years on that Algonquin team, so you have to expect that a lot of these players may have played their last game in an Algonquin uniform. What Algonquin, like we've said so many times, are a powerhouse in that women's soccer. They will be back and a strong team next year. Always a name you want to remember, but for now, Sheridan have gone through. They'll be playing Fanshawe in the semifinal, 12:30 on Friday. And now we await the next two quarterfinal games. The next one happening at 3 o'clock. That Redeemer Royals host team up against the undefeated Seneca Sting, number 4 in the nation. That game is next. Michael and I will have it for you at 3 o'clock.